to AFL.com.au's Day 3 wrap of the NAB AFL Draft Combine. I'm Callum Toomey, and joining me is the AFL's Academies Development Manager, Michael Ablett. Now, Mick, before we get into today's events, we're going to take a quick look at last night's events, the running sprints, the 20-metre sprint, the repeat sprints, and the agility test. Lots of action there and lots of highlights.
Yeah, it certainly was, Cal. Some real standout performances. Nakai Cockatoo, an Indigenous player who's absolutely bolted into contention for the early draft picks. He was sensational in the repeat sprints, as was another Indigenous boy, Nathan Drummond from the Murray Bushrangers. 19-year-old player that's had a fantastic season and continues to push his name up.
And West Australian Clem Smith won the agility test, which is an outstanding effort there. And American Marvin Bainham claimed the 20-metre sprint. That's an outstanding result given his success in the jumping test the day earlier, Mick.
Yeah, it certainly is. He was outstanding, Cal. He's another one that's really given the AFL club something to think about now. Just shy of 200 centimetres. He ran a 2.81 in LA at the USA Combine in April and backed that up with the same time again here in Melbourne. So, look, they're becoming crucial, these sorts of guys, to AFL clubs, and Marvin's certainly one to watch.
Now today the footies come out, which we're all excited about. It was the skills test, so the goal kicking test, the clean hands test and the kicking test. Talk us through how the combatants went in that one.
It's great to see the footballs out again on Etihad Stadium while the Combine's on, just to remind everyone of what we're here for, mate. So, Nakai Cockatoo, he was outstanding again. Just mentioned him before. He won the Nathan Buckley kicking test. Another fella, Paddy Brophy, another international we talk about from Ireland. He was the winner of the Matthew Lloyd clean hands test, which is an outstanding result for Paddy. Another guy that continues to develop interest amongst the clubs. And it was the Brad Johnson goal kicking test. Two South Australian boys, Dean Gore and also Keenan Ramsey, took that test out in a joint first place.
Fantastic results there from everyone involved. Now we look forward to Monday, Mick, and there's the Father-Son Academy meeting. We've been talking about this all week. Darcy Moore, your opinion on him? He's come through the AFL Academy in the last couple of years. If it was an open draft, whereabouts do you think he'd be sitting?
Right up amongst the best kids. I've got no doubt about that. We've watched him play a lot of football as a centre-half forward. I actually think he's got AFL centre-half back written all over him. So, look, he captained a premiership. He's played quality football at VFL level. No doubt he's amongst the best, Cal.
We caught up with Derek Hine, the Collingwood list manager, earlier today. Let's see if he agrees with Mick's assessment on Moore and whether he'll cost the Pies their first selection at the draft.
You know, we'll just put the players in a line, and you know, if we rate the player inside that pick or at that pick, we'll act accordingly. If we don't, we won't. It's reasonably simplistic how we go about it. It's a really valuable pick.
Obviously, a lot happening with the Pies at the moment, Mick. There's the trade period coming up. Dane Beams has signalled his intentions to return to Queensland. We asked Derek Hine about what that might mean for the draft implications for the Pies.
He's a contracted player, so. Again, we've met with Brisbane, and we've communicated to where we see the potentials at, and where we'd be happy to release Dane. So, you know, I suppose the ball's well and truly in Brisbane's court. So, but we're really comfortable, and you know, look, I really couldn't see us moving from that position.
So there we have it, the Pies hoping to keep Dane Beams. We'll see how that one plays out. Of course, the Crows are back in the early stages of this year's draft after missing 2 years as part of the Kurt Tippett saga and scandal. Mick, they've got pick 9 at the moment. There's some players that have sort of established themselves in that sort of range, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. South Australian Sam Durden's an exceptional talent. He's, again, I think he's an AFL centre-half back. He's also got the ability to play in the ruck. Beautiful field kicking as well. So he's one that'll be around the mix. I reckon a tall midfielder, Tom Lamb. He's about a 192 centimetre, elite endurance, great speed. He's another one that no doubt will be around the mark.
Earlier today we caught up with Adelaide Crows recruiting manager Hamish Ogilvie about the Crows' intentions heading into November's draft.
You know, there's probably like 15, 17 players in the mix there at pick 10, so, or 9 or 10, whatever it ends up being, so you cover all those pretty well. You know, the most talented player that comes through there is probably the one you're going to look at. Needs don't really come into it there. I don't think there's much in it. The player at 6 and the player at 17 could be exactly the same. The player at 14 might be better than someone that's picked at 7 or 8, so there's not a lot in it at all.
So, Mick, you mentioned an Irishman before, Paddy Brophy. There's another one here that's attracting a fair bit of AFL club interest. It's Connor McKenna. How have you seen his week?
He's had a brilliant week. If we go back, Cal, to his game against the AFL Academy back in April in London, he kicked 4 goals in that game against the best talent in Australia. He's now come out and blown them away with his speed and his power here at the Combine. He's got clubs clamouring for him, and he's no doubt someone that we'll hear a lot more about in future years at AFL level.
Well, we heard from him today. He faced the media this morning.
There's the main 4 clubs that we're talking to us from our Eston, West Coast, Collingwood and Western Bulldogs, and the main 4 talking about the minute, but we just haven't got any offers yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I wasn't sure until I got here what I actually wanted to do, but now I'm here and that's what I want to do, so hopefully I can come to AFL football anyway.
Do you think you might test your new teammates with that accent of yours?
I definitely. People ask me can I understand the Australians, but they can't understand me half the time, so I don't think about that.
Right, Mick, as you can see behind us, the beep test is kicked off here. We'll have all the results in tomorrow's show as we wrap up the Combine, but there's been some early leaders so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Lamb ran over 15 in the beep, which is an exceptional effort. And his partner in crime, who was running next to him for a fair while there, Kyle Langford from the Northern Knights, he was fantastic as well. They're both beautiful sized boys. They're the new modern day AFL player at that height, and a couple of guys who have really pushed themselves up in the pecking order.
Christian Petrarca and Jared Pickett, another couple of likely early draft picks, reach new benchmarks for them. So, and a terrific achievement there. Mick, thanks for joining us. We'll have all the latest news on afl.com.au from the last days of the draft combine. Keep tuning in.